So just a quick review that what we have done in the last lecture, as I always give a quick review so that you can revise. So we have started with the mathematical programming problem in which we have one objective function and we have some constraints. The objective function can be maximized and minimized. Then after that, we have done linear programming problem. In the linear programming problem, what we have discussed that if my objective function and all the constraints are linear, then that will be my linear programming problem. And after that, we have started the formulation and we have done one example regarding to that, right? So formulation means that a layman has given some data to you and you have to make a mathematical model. The previous example which we have discussed, that was some easy, right? So by going through next example, we are increasing the difficulty level, right? So next example is your this example. So we have this example now that the material science department of TIT needs circular metallic plates. कि डिपार्टमेंट को सर्कुलर मेटेलिक प्लेट चाहिए जिसका डायामीटर कितना हो 3 सेंटीमीटर एंड 6 सेंटीमीटर टू परफॉर्म एक्सपेरिमेंट्स ऑन हीट ट्रांसमिट ट्रीटमेंट स्टडीज एंड दे रिक्वायर 2500 minimum metallic sheets of 3 centimeter and 1500 minimum sheets of metallic circular plates of 6 centimeter, right? And these are to be cut from metallic sheet of dimension 6 into 15 centimeter square. So you have to formulate the problem as a LPP so that minimum number of parent metallic sheets are used. So from the last line, it is clear that the objective function will be your minimize because it has given कि आपको क्या करना है, minimum number of metallic sheet use करनी है, right? अब डिपार्टमेंट को एक मेटेलिक शीट है दैट इज ऑफ 6 into 15 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर. उसमें से कट हमने क्या करना है, वी हैव टू कट सर्कुलर प्लेट्स. अब जो डायमेंशन है 6 into 5, दैट मींस इट इज योर रेक्टेंगुलर शीट, right, whose length is 6 and breadth is your 15 centimeter. And in that, from that sheet, you have to cut circular plates. सर्कुलर प्लेट का डायामीटर कितना होना चाहिए 3 सेंटीमीटर एंड 6 सेंटीमीटर और रिक्वायरमेंट उसकी कितनी है 2500 मिनिमम एंड योर 1500, राइट? सो इन दिस केस हाउ कैन वी स्टार्ट? लाइक in the previous example we start with the decision variable, but here if you notice over here they are saying minimum number of parent metallic sheet. पेरेंट मेटेलिक शीट कौन सी है 6 into 15 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर. एक ही तरह की शीट दी हुई है आपको जिसमें से आपको पैटर्न्स कट करने हैं 3 सेंटीमीटर एंड 6 सेंटीमीटर के. सो व्हाट यू कैन डिस्कस, फर्स्टली व्हाट यू विल डू दैट यू विल डिस्क्राइब द पैटर्न्स कि आपके कैसे कट हो सकते हैं, राइट? सो फॉर दैट व्हाट वी कैन डू, so what I can do, suppose I am taking this as my 6 centimeter and this is 15 centimeter. So first pattern what I can decide that I can cut 2 centimeter circular or 3 centimeter diameter from this and 3 from this. So total here will be 6, right? So other pattern, now you are left with आपके पास total breadth कितनी है 15 जिसमें से आप 3 कट कर चुके हो. So you are left with 12 centimeter. So what you can do, you can also cut this pattern 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter. Please manage with the drawing, right? 6 centimeters means there will be very less space, right? So this circular plate, that means it is coming in the whole 6 centimeter. So this is 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter. So 3, 6, 9, 12. The rest is 15. तो ये भी आपने कट कर लिया 3 सेंटीमीटर का और 3 सेंटीमीटर का. दिस इज वन ऑफ द पैटर्न. So this is one pattern in which you have cut your 3 centimeter circular plates, but you have to cut also 6 centimeter. So what we can do, we can discuss another pattern also. So this is my 6 centimeter and this is my 15 centimeter. What I can do is, I can cut one circular plate of 6 centimeter. From 15 I have cut 6 centimeter. What is left? 9. तो आप 9 का पैटर्न्स कैसे डिसाइड कर सकते हो? You can also like that you can cut 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter and 3 centimeter. So next pattern. Next pattern is that you can cut 6 centimeter plate, 6 centimeter, and now here you are left with this portion 6 centimeter. So you can cut 3 centimeter from here and 3 centimeter circular plate from here. This is of 6 centimeter, 6 centimeter. So can be another pattern, right? So this we are saying. So if this is a metallic sheet, it can be type 1. जिसको मैं कैसे कट कर सकती हूँ कि मैंने सारी 3 सेंटीमीटर की प्लेट्स निकाली. One pattern I can cut that I have taken 6 centimeter and 6 plate of 3 centimeter. One pattern is that I have cut 2 circular plates of 6 centimeter and 2 circular plates of 3 centimeter. What was my objective? That I have to use minimum number of parent metallic sheets. Now you have decided pattern कि आप मेटेलिक शीट्स को कितने पैटर्न में कट कर सकते हो. सो व्हाट यू कैन डिसाइड फ्रॉम हियर, लेट x1 मैंने ये मान लिया कि टाइप 1 पैटर्न है एंड दिस आई एम टेकिंग टाइप 2 पैटर्न, दिस आई एम टेकिंग टाइप 3 पैटर्न. सो लेट x1, x2, x3 be the number of sheets which can be cut by pattern of type 1, 2 and 3 respectively. So what we have done, हमने एक मेटेलिक शीट ली थी, हमने उसका पैटर्न डिस्कस कर लिया. अब मैंने क्या लिया कि x1 नंबर ऑफ शीट्स हैं that I am cutting in pattern 1, x2 ऐसी नंबर ऑफ शीट्स हैं जो कट मैं कर रही हूँ पैटर्न 2 से, x3 ऐसी शीट्स हैं जो मैं कट कर रही हूँ पैटर्न 3 से, राइट? सो व्हाट इज योर ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन? minimize, because you have to minimize the number of sheets. तो total sheets कितनी होगी? X1 पैटर्न टाइप 1 की है, X2 पैटर्न 2 की है, and X3 are पैटर्न type 3. So what is the total number of sheets? X1 plus X2 plus. So what will be your objective function? That I want to minimize the number of metallic sheets. Is it clear? Right? The next comes a turn of constraint. अगर एक पैटर्न शीट टाइप 1 की है, उसमें से आप 3 सेंटीमीटर की कितनी शीट्स कट कर रहे हो? सर्कुलर प्लेट 10, 6 सेंटीमीटर की 0. दिस इज फॉर 1. अगर मेरी X1 शीट्स हैं तो कितनी कट होंगी 3 सेंटीमीटर की? 10x1, राइट? एंड 6 सेंटीमीटर की 0x1. ठीक है? एंड फ्रॉम दिस पैटर्न 3 सेंटीमीटर की कितनी शीट्स निकाल रहे हैं हम? 6, राइट? एंड 6 सेंटीमीटर की 1. शीट्स कितनी है इस पैटर्न की टोटल? X2, because these are the total number of X2. So 3 सेंटीमीटर की मेरे इसमें से शीट्स कितने निकलेंगी? 6x2. 6 सेंटीमीटर की कितनी शीट्स निकलेंगी? 1x2. And the same from here, the 3 centimeter sheets I am cutting 2 sheets. 6 सेंटीमीटर की भी मैं 2 मेटेलिक प्लेट्स निकाल रही हूँ. द पैटर्न, ये टोटल मेरे पास कितनी शीट्स हैं? X3. So what will be the number of 3 centimeter circular plates? 2x3, right? And for 6 centimeter, what is the number of plates? 2x3, right? So what it is saying कि आपको 3 सेंटीमीटर की टोटल मिनिमम कितनी प्लेट्स चाहिए? 2500. पहले पैटर्न में से आपने कितनी प्लेट्स निकाली 3 सेंटीमीटर की? 10x1. दूसरे पैटर्न में से कितनी निकाली? 6x2. And from the third pattern, how many sheets you have taken? And the requirement is the same for the 6 centimeter. 6 सेंटीमीटर की पहले पैटर्न से शीट्स कितनी निकाली? 0x1 plus 1x2 plus 2x3, and the requirement is 1500. It has said that the minimum requirement is 2500 and 1500. That means if you will give more also, they will also satisfy. But कम से कम इतनी requirement होनी चाहिए, so the inequality sign will be greater than equal to, right? So these are your constraint. Next comes the task of restriction. क्या x1, x2, x3 negative हो सकते हैं? Because it is the number of sheets, it cannot be negative. So x1, x2 and x3 are your greater than equal to 0, and x1 and x2, x3, that will be your integers, because you cannot take the number of sheets in fraction, right? So this is the problem, that you have given one metallic sheet and you have to cut circular plates from that. And firstly, what you have decided, the patterns in which you can cut your sheet. The similar example related to this is it clear? Is it clear to all? Next example is So next example, it is saying related to that, a metal slitting company cuts master roll with width 200 centimeter. एक मेटल स्लिटिंग कंपनी है जो मास्टर रोल कैसे कट करती है, जिसकी विड्थ कितनी होती है 200 सेंटीमीटर, इनटू सब रोल्स. ठीक है, सब रोल्स कैसे हैं, जिनकी छोटी विड्थ है किससे 200 सेंटीमीटर से. कस्टमर स्पेसिफाई दैट दे नीड सब रोल्स. कस्टमर कहते हैं कि उनको सब रोल्स की विड्थ की कितनी विड्थ चाहिए, 35 सेंटीमीटर सब रोल हो, 80 सेंटीमीटर का सब रोल हो, 90 का सब रोल हो, एंड 120 सेंटीमीटर का सब रोल हो. और उसकी आपको रिक्वायरमेंट नंबर रिक्वायर्ड, दैट इट इज रिक्वायर्ड for the 35 centimeter, it requires 200 rolls. 80 सेंटीमीटर के कितने रोल्स चाहिए 90 सेंटीमीटर के कितने रोल्स चाहिए 350, एंड फॉर 120 इट नीड्स 850 rolls. The objective is to use minimum number of master rolls to satisfy customer orders, right? So like in the previous example, there we have one metallic sheet. In this case, what we have, one master roll which is of width 200 centimeter. That means उस 200 सेंटीमीटर में से आपने कितने सेंटीमीटर के रोल कट करने हैं 35, 80, 90, 120. And the objective function is same, that you have to use minimum number of master rolls, right? So what you will do in the first case, that you will discuss the patterns in which you can cut your master roll into your sub rolls, right? So how can we start in this case? So we will start with the 35 centimeter. I have a roll of 200 centimeter, right? So from 200 centimeter, I have to cut roll of 35. So it is coming out to be 5 point something, right? 5.7. That means 200 में से आप 35 सेंटीमीटर के मैक्सिमम कितने रोल कट कर सकते हो 5. So that means if you are cutting 35 centimeter as 5 rolls, then you are using the sheet. आपने कितनी sheet use करी 175, and the left one you can say, or the wastage is 25 centimeter. Is it clear? एक अगर ऐसा पैटर्न हो गया, आई एम गिविंग द नेम बिकॉज इन द एंड वी विल राइट द नेम. सो दिस इज माय पैटर्न 1, that if I am cutting 5 rolls of 35 centimeter, then the rolls are 5 and the wastage is 25 centimeter. The next pattern can be, we can reduce the number of 35 centimeter rolls and we will increase the other rolls also, right? So if I cut 35 centimeter roll as 4 rolls, so that I am using 140 सेंटीमीटर. तो आपकी वेस्टेज कितनी हुई 60 सेंटीमीटर वेस्ट कर सकते हो. कैन यू वेस्ट 60 सेंटीमीटर? अगर 60 सेंटीमीटर आपका वेस्ट हो रहा है, दैट मीन्स यू कैन कट 1 रोल ऑफ 35 सेंटीमीटर. ठीक है, तो अगर आपने 1 कट कर भी लिया रोल, सो दिस इज सेम एज, तो आपके पास लेफ्ट कितना बच गया, that is the same pattern as. So in this case you have not discovered any new pattern, right? So what you can discuss the third pattern. So that means we will not consider this pattern. Next we are considering the third pattern. You can take 35 centimeter roll as 3. So what you will left, here you are using 105 centimeter and you are left with 95 centimeter. Now since you have 95 centimeter, so you can make 2 cases from here. Either you can cut roll of 90 centimeter or you can cut roll of 80 centimeter. So I can divide this into two patterns that I am naming 3A and 3B. One I am cutting off 80 centimeter and I am taking one roll of 90 centimeter. So if I'll cut one roll of 80 centimeter from 95 centimeter, I will left with कितना waste होगा 15 centimeter. And if I'll cut 90 centimeter roll, then I will waste or left out with. So these are the patterns which have not come earlier. Okay, so these patterns we will consider, right, while formulating it, right? Next, we will दो 35 के लोगे तो that will be the same as the case of you are considering if you are cutting two more rolls of 35 centimeter, the number of 35 centimeter roll will be 5 and you will left with 25 centimeter. So that will be the same case as the first one. We are considering all the patterns that we can cut. In the first case also, we have cut 35 centimeter and the wastage was 25 centimeter. We are discussing all the patterns that can be cut from that 200 centimeter rule. No, I have not discarded the second pattern. The second pattern was same as the first pattern. That's why I have discarded the second pattern. I have not discarded just because of the wastage. When you have 60 centimeter waste, you can cut one roll of 35 centimeter. Then you are left with 25 centimeter. That will be the same case as pattern 1. So this pattern has not given me new pattern. That's why I have discarded the pattern 2. Next is your pattern 4. So if you cut 35 centimeter as 2 rolls, so you are using 70 centimeter, right? The previous, if you cut 2 rolls, that you are left with 25 centimeters. So that is the same case as previous one, right? So if you will cut 70 centimeter, that means you are left with 130. So from 130, there can be your three types, that either you can cut roll of 85 centimeter, 80 centimeter, 90 or 120. So this I am writing 4A, 4B, that is the name of the pattern 4C. So if I cut 80 centimeter roll, so one roll of 80 centimeter, then I am left with 15 centimeter. So this is the same case as 50 centimeter. So can you waste 50 centimeter? तब आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? You have to cut one roll of 35 centimeter. So if you will cut one roll of 35 centimeter, you are left with 15. So this is nothing. अब आपके पास 35 के कितने rolls हो गए? 3. 80 का एक roll. You have already discussed this case in your pattern 3A. So this is same as 3A pattern. So we will not consider this pattern, right? Next pattern is if you cut 90 centimeter, then you are left with 40 centimeter, but you cannot waste. So that means you have to cut one roll of 35 centimeter. So that means you are left with 5 centimeter. तो 35 के कितने rolls हो गए? 3. 90 का 1. This you have already discussed in case 3B. So that is your same as 3B. That means this pattern has not given me new pattern, right? So this is that I can cut 120 centimeter. So I have left with 10 centimeter. This is my new pattern which I have not considered earlier, right? Next is your pattern 5, that you can cut the roll of 35 centimeter as the number of units 1. So you will have 35. So here you can left with 165. So here you can discuss also 3 patterns, 5A, 5B, 5C, that you can cut 80 centimeter roll, 90 and 120. If you have 165 centimeter, 80 के कितने rolls cut कर सकते हो? 2 rolls you can cut. So cut 2 rolls of 80 centimeter. Then I am left with 5 centimeter. And this pattern we have not discussed earlier, that I have taken 35 centimeter roll as 1 roll and 80 as 2 roll. That means this is my new pattern. 5A. Now you have 165. You cannot cut 2 rolls, right? So you can cut only 1 roll, 90 centimeter. So are left with 90 का एक निकाल लिया तो कितना बच गया? 75. Can you waste 75? इसमें से आप क्या करोगे? 35 के आप 2 कट कर सकते हो. That cut 2 rolls of 35 centimeter. So that means you are left with 5 centimeter. But here now you have 35 rolls as 3 rolls. 1 roll of 90 that we have discussed as same as 3B. So that means this is my not new pattern. The third is from 165, you can cut 1 roll, 120 centimeter. Then you are left with 45 centimeter. So can you waste? So you have to cut 1 roll of 35 centimeter. So you are left with 10 centimeter. 35 के कितने rolls हो गए? 2 and 120 का 1. That is same as your 4C. So that means with this pattern also we have not obtained new pattern, right? So we can discuss by reducing the number of patterns 35 to 0. Now we will increase the pattern for your 80 centimeter. 0 piece of 35. 1 piece of 80. So that you have 80 into 1. So you are left with 120. So from 120, you can discuss 2 cases. That either you can cut 90 centimeter roll. Then you will left with, because you can cut only 1. So you are left with 30. ऐसा केस अभी तक आपने कोई डिस्कस नहीं किया, that you have not cut 35 centimeter roll and you have cut 180 roll and 190 roll and you are wasting your 30 centimeter, right? The next can be one cut of 120 centimeter. So you have wastage as 0 centimeter. That means both of these patterns are your new patterns, right? Next, pattern 7, that 1 piece of 90, that means 90 into 1, that will be your left with 110. So from here, वो ऑलरेडी आप डिस्कस कर चुके हो जब आपने 2 rows of 180 करोगे, that you will come with the previous case, right? 110. So 7A and 7B, either you can cut 90 centimeter roll or you can cut 80 centimeter roll and 90 centimeter roll. So if you cut 80 centimeter roll, दो कट कर सकते हो. So you will left with 30 centimeter. You have cut one roll of 90, one roll of 80. This is same as your this pattern, that is your 6A. And if you do like this, 110, and if you cut one roll of 90 centimeter, you will left with 20. This you have not discussed, that you have cut 2 rolls of 90 centimeter, 0 roll of 35, 0 of 120. So this is my new case. The pattern which you are saying that I should consider rolls of 80 centimeter, if you consider that, you will have same number of cases. So I am taking pattern 8 is if I am cutting one piece of 120. So I will left with 80. So from 80, I can go for 35 centimeter and 80 centimeter. So from 80, 35 के कितने रोल कट करने पड़ेंगे? 2 cut of 35 centimeter, that is your 70, and that means you are left with 10, which is the same as 4C that you have already discussed. So if you cut 80, you are left with 0. So that means same as 6B, right? So you have discussed all the patterns and I am writing in the table form. So here I am writing sub roles. So this is 35, 80, 90, 120, and here I am writing wastage. And the pattern, which are new patterns, that is 1, 3A, 3B, 4C, 5A, 6A, 6B, 7B. So for the first pattern, you have cut 5 of this, 0 of all others, and you are wasting 25 centimeter. 3A is so these are your patterns, that are your different patterns and which you have discarded the same patterns, right? So the task was that you have to cut one master roll into such parts, that into sub roles, so that you can use minimum number of master roles, right? So what can be your decision variable? Now you have decided अब master role in 8 patterns में से किसी से भी cut हो सकता है, right? So what you can discuss कि you can take x1 as the number of sheets cutting in this pattern. So what I am considering, let x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, x7 and x8 be the number of sheets that can be cut as above patterns, respectively. X1 is for the first pattern, X2 is for the second, that means 3A, X3 is for 3B, X4 is for 4C, X5 is for 5A and 6A, this is 6B and 7B. That patterns you have taken. So what is your objective function? You have to minimize the number of sheets. That means the objective function will be minimized and what will come? Total sheets kitni hui? X1 plus X2 plus X3 and X8. That means summation I is equal to 1 to 8 Xi. On the other hand, irrespective of this, if your objective function is that you have to use the metallic sheets in such way that you can minimize the waste. So if the objective function was like that you have to use the metallic sheets in such a way so that you can minimize your wastage. So in that case, what will become your objective function? That means from the one sheet you are wasting 25. That can be the cut in the pattern 1. So X1 sheets में से कितनी wastage होगी? 25X1. So in that case, your objective function will become 25X1 plus 15X2 plus 5X3 plus 10X4 plus 5X5 plus 30X6 plus 0X7 plus 20X8, right? The same problem can come, but here it has given that you have to minimize the wastage for cutting your rows into sub rows. Clear? Subject to constraints again. The objective function is changed. So this is if part, that if your objective function is this, that you have to minimize the wastage. Subject to, now from the first pattern, आप 35 के कितने कट कर रहे हो रोल? 5. अगर X1 शीट्स हैं तो कितने रोल कट कर लोगे? 5X1. So what your objective function, what your constraint will become? That will be your 5X1 plus 3X2 plus 3X3 plus 2X4 plus 1X5 plus 0X6 plus 0X7 plus 0X8, and you have requirement is 200. This is 0 into X1, 80 centimeter के rolls plus 1 into X2. So this part is clear that I have written from the first sheet you can cut 5 rows of 35 centimeter. If you have X1 number of sheets, you can cut 5 into X1 rows. So the minimum requirement, because you have to satisfy the customer's demand can be more. So the inequality sign will be greater than equal to. And all your Xi, because it is the number of sheets that cannot be negative, and is it clear?